Dear students, in previous video lecture we have discussed determinate structure and indeterminate structure and difference between the flexibility matrix method and stiffness matrix method. Today I am going to explain degree of static indeterminacy and procedure for flexibility matrix method. So let's start today's session. As we discussed in previous lecture, flexibility matrix method is used for determine the unknown reaction in continuous beam and in portal frame, etc. And for that, the degree of static indeterminacy is considered. Degree of static indeterminacy is nothing but the number of unknown reactions and the internal forces is exceeding the number of equation of static equilibrium equation. So, degree of static indeterminacy is nothing but the number of unknown reactions and the internal forces is exceeding the number of equation of static equilibrium condition. That number is called as the degree of static indeterminacy. So, it will be more clear by taking an example. So, I will take a cantilever beam with supported at free end. So, this is the cantilever beam. Fixed support A, there is a vertical reaction, horizontal reaction HA, vertical reaction RA, and moment MA. And at support B, there is vertical reaction RB. I will write here number of unknown reaction is equal to 4. And as we know, static equilibrium equation is 3. So static indeterminacy is equal to total number of reaction that is 4 minus static equilibrium equation that is 3. So how much static indeterminacy? 4 minus 3, that is 1. So I will take another example for the portal frame. In portal frame, we have to find out the static indeterminacy by using the formula, that is static indeterminacy is equal to 3m plus r minus 3g. So this is the formula to find out the static indeterminacy in portal frame. M is nothing but the number of members. R is nothing but the number of reaction. And J is nothing but number of joints. So in this way we can calculate the static indeterminacy in portal frame by using this formula. There is vertical reaction RA, horizontal reaction HA, and moment MA. And at D support there is only roller support, that's why only one reaction is there, that is vertical reaction RD. So now first of all we should know the number of members. How many numbers of members? So member AB, member BC, and member CD. These are the 3 members. So M is equal to 3. So R is nothing but the number of reaction. So how many reaction? 1, 2, 3 and 4. And last but not least, J, that is number of joint. 1, 2, 3, 4. Joint A, joint B, joint C and joint D. These are 4 numbers. So just simply put the values in static indeterminacy formula, that is 3m plus r minus 3j and simply calculate the values. So in this static indeterminacy is 1. At the end of this lecture, we will discuss about the procedure of flexibility matrix method. First step, determine the degree of static indeterminacy. So first of all, we have to find out the degree of static indeterminacy, that is number of unknown reaction minus static equilibrium. Let's suppose this is a continuous beam at support A. There is 3 reactions: vertical, horizontal and moment. This is RB, this is RC. How many unknowns are there? There are 5 unknowns are there. So number of unknowns minus number of static equilibrium equation. So 3. So 5 minus 3 is 2. So our static indeterminacy, degree of static indeterminacy is 2. In second step, we have to assuming the reaction as R1 and R2. So our static indeterminacy is 2. According to that, we have to assume the reaction as R1, R2. If there is static indeterminacy 3, in that case we have to assume R1, R2 and R3. So in this step, we have to assume RB is equal to R1 and RC, reaction RC is equal to R2, because our static indeterminacy is. In third step, we have to draw the free body diagram by removing the reactions RB and RC. So in this step, we have to remove these reactions RB and RC, and that diagram is called as the M diagram. So in this diagram, only loading is there, no reaction. We have to just remove the reaction. In the same step, we have to draw the M1 diagram and M2 diagram. But in M1 diagram, we have to apply the unit load at B point. So this is the B point. So here we have to apply the unit load, that is R1 is equal to 1. So this diagram is nothing but the M diagram. And in M2 diagram, by applying unit load at C, so this is A, B, C. So in M2 diagram, we have to apply the unit load at C. Therefore R2 is equal to 1. So this is the M2 diagram. In fourth step, we have to fill up the data in tabular form in form of in first column we have to fill the part origin m, that is moment for m diagram, moment for m1 diagram, moment for m2 diagram, and limit of this particular part, and calculate the moment of inertia. In fifth step, we have to calculate the displacement at coordinate 1 due to the applied load, that is called as the del 1L is equal to integration of m into m1 divided by EI into dx. Similarly, displacement at coordinate 2 due to applied load, that is del 2L is equal to integration m into m2 divided by EI into dx. Now calculate the deflection at 1 due to the unit load at 1, that is F11 is equal to integration m1 into m1 divided by EI into dx. And similarly, deflection at 1 due to the unit load at 2, that is F12 is equal to integration m1 into m2 by EI into dx. And lastly, we have to find out the deflection at 2 due to unit load at 2, that is F22 is equal to integration m2 into m2 divided by EI into dx. In the second last step, we have to calculate the reactions. So all the data we have to input into the matrix form, and we will get the reaction R1 and R2. And finally, in step 7, we have to draw the SFD and BMD. So this is about the procedure of flexibility matrix method. In next lecture, we will take one numerical of flexibility matrix method. Thank you.